Here we are, folks. We are going to be playing a 1,000 point battle report here with the DRUKHARI. I'm running Cult of Strife because why not? Versus the Sisters of Battle. These are the two Warlords. So I've got my Succubus here with the Dancer's Edge Glaive and Competitive Edge, I think is the name of the Warlord trait that lets you reroll any and all attacks that do not make it to the damage phase, and any 6s go straight through invulnerables. And 2 damage. I'm very excited. And then the Triumph of St. Catherine, I think, has like 900 rules to it, but it is the Warlord. We'll talk more about it as it comes up. Is there anything crucial to say real fast? I'm playing against Blair. I'm excited. Anything? She's not thinking of anything crucial to say right off the top of our heads. You can look up the Triumph of St. Catherine and read all the rules for it if you would like to. So we'll be back in a second to look at the armies. Alright, here we go. DRUKHARI list. This is all Cult of Strife because they have the mostest of the toys and the tricks, in my opinion. So you've already seen my Warlord right there, the Succubus with the Dancer's Edge. Then I'm also bringing another Succubus. Oh, sorry, this is a Master Succubus. I'm paying the points to upgrade her, so she'll get the 6-inch Consolidate in any direction, along with a squad of Blood Brides. That will be them. There will be 10 Blood Brides. There's a Shardnet, and 2 of them have the Hydra Gauntlets. The rest are as they are. The Hecatrix does have the Whip, but not the upgraded Whip. Then I've got, well, you know what, I'll spend that command point. So yes, that'll be the Morvane's Agonizer Whip. They also have this Succubus who has the Tryptich Whip and I don't remember what it's called. Precision attacks. She gets a +2. Oh no, I gave her the other one. It's a Strife one that gives her exploding 6s. Blood Dancer. That's what it is. So she could be awfully entertaining. Got a squad of 8 Reavers and no Heat Lances in them for points purposes. A squad of 5 Hellions, a Venom. Over here I've got a squad of 10 Witches. There's 1 Razor Flail and 1 Shardnet Impaler in there, and the rest are as they are. Have a Raider, and it'll have the Dark Lance, Shock Proud, Grizzly Trophies, and the Reaper. So that is going to be my 1,000 points, and with the upgrades, points and all that stuff, it comes out to exactly 1,000 points. So I'm very excited to see what they'll do. Hopefully I'll get a chance to use my cool rules and not just get immediately obliterated by sisters. Nah, we shall see. Alright folks, here we are with the sisters list, 1,000 points. Over here on this side we have Seraphim, good for deep striking, deploying scramblers is what Blair likes to use them for. We got the Missionary, we've got the Repentia, we've got a squad of Retributors, right? I get the R's mixed up half the time. There's the Triumph of St. Catherine. This is a squad of sisters. Both of these squads you'll see have the Simulacrum. I think that's what that's pronounced. Yes. We got a squad of Seraphim over here. Then we have the Rhino and an Exorcist. So that comes out to a 1,000 points as well. And it's going to be pretty entertaining. So we're going to have speed and choppy on both sides of the board. A bit of shooting on both sides of the board. This thing, I have no idea what I'm going to do about. If I care to do about it or not, I don't know. It seems like it could be nasty. So that is going to be it. We'll be back in a minute with deployment zones and the mission and all of that fun stuff. Folks, we have deployed. We have rolled up our mission. We are playing the mission number 23 of the incursion missions. It is forward push. This has a fairly strange layout for the objective markers, and if you take the secondary, it is equally strange. Well, it's not strange, it's just a little bit complicated. You can score it at the end of your turn, but you have to be on the objective you're controlling beginning of your movement phase, so you can't move to it and control it, so it's... We both said no thank you. I got to choose deployment zone. I've deployed all of my Reavers. My Hellions are over here. They are all +1 toughness. I have a Raider with my Blood Brides and the Master Succubus inside. I've got my Reaper, conveniently out of line of sight of her Exorcist at the moment, but it can probably move and get, you know, line of sight, whatever. It's an effort. My regular witches are down here. Tryptich Witch Succubus there, and then I've got my Venom right here. That is me deployed. We have this strange layout with objective markers going down. They're kind of staggered, alternating. It's kind of strange. One way down in my deployment zone, one in hers. And then over on the other side of the board, we have the sisters. She has a rhino with Repentia and a missionary. She's got regular sisters, the retributors. Yes, I'm getting all the R's. Yes. Triumph is sitting there, bold as brass, and the exorcist over there. The Seraphim, Zephyrim are both in deep strike. And I'll show you secondaries. I've actually decided to try Herd the Prey, so if I can clear out table quarters, I'll get points. Deploy scramblers and engage. Blair also took deploy scramblers and engage, and then while we stand. And her while we stand units are the exorcist, right there, Triumph of St. Catherine, and what was the last one?
Retributors.
The Retributors, that's right. So I know what I'm wanting to kill real fast. And then also, some of those things are going to be killing me real fast too. So, you know, they're high on the to-do list. So we shall roll off and see who's going first. Ooh, she rolled a massive 1. It's cocked. There, I rolled a 6. I think I have first turn. We'll be back after DRUKHARI, turn 1. The end of the DRUKHARI turn 1 has come and gone. This Mr. Reaper over here came around the corner. I had to re-roll the number of shots it got, but it did do the business over there on the exorcist, sort of. I did force Blair to use 2 miracle dice to save 3 of the wounds that went through, and then I still did 6 damage. Then I also did the funky little 2 command points for the potent metallatoxins, just for the interestingness of wounding the exorcist on 4s. And I got 2 more wounds through, so I've dropped it down to 4 wounds remaining, I think. It's just, I wanted to try this. I'm not sure it's something I'll use all the time, but I figured it's new. Might as well give it a shot. The Hellions advanced. They have assault weapons, so they fired their shots into the Triumph of St. Catherine. And I got, what, 2 wounds through? 3 wounds? Something funny. Yeah, I was like, oh, what do you know? So they're all doing their thing. Because of the advance roll, they are also engaged in this table quarter up in the front. So I got them there on that side. I have moved my witches around in the back. These are the regular ones, so that my whole back zone is zoned out, I should say. The Succubus there with the whip moved forward to stay near a vehicle to not be targeted yet. This vehicle moved up without advancing and got onto that objective and had line of sight but whiffed. If I re-rolled that shot, I would have had that shot on the exorcist, but you know, it is what it is. The Venom moved forwards, no advancing, got me on my engage, but failed to charge the Rhino. I really wanted to tie that up, and I did not, so it was very disappointing. It did take some pot shots with poison weapons at the Retributors, but I think all the ones that were hits were saved, so yeah, it didn't matter much, but that's okay. That's it. So I scored 3 points for my engaging on all the fronts. I deployed the scramblers back here with these witches, and that's all she wrote. And I'm grateful that I got Blair to burn through her miracle die. That was lovely. And we'll be back in a minute with Sisters Retaliation. I mean, turn 1. Well, it is the end of the Sisters, turn 1. The miracle of miracles is this Reaper here has a singular wound left. He refused to die, which I appreciated. I can't say the same. I did spend for lightning fast reactions on him. I also spent lightning fast reactions on the jet bikes, and it didn't really matter much. There is 1 left. I had 2 left. 1 failed to morale, ran away, but he survived. And then my Hellions also died. I did have my Heliarch left after the first round of combat, or after the combat I should say. And he did kill 2 Repentia on his way out the door, so that's better than nothing. But all those little skulls would be all my dudes that just died. It was very sad. So big charges. The good things that came out of this for me is I made Blair use all of her miracle dice and all of her command points. Huzzah! So that was something. Back here, you got a missionary hanging around in the back. You got some Retributors, thank you. They did some good shooting. Yeah, the baby with wings also got used up. So there's some good things that came out of it, I guess. Then you got the Battle Sisters in the back who played scramblers. The Rhino sat still, and that's it. So this side of the board for my things are still alive. This side of the board, not so much. So we'll see in a second what's going to happen. The end of battle round 1, I am winning by 3 whole points, ha ha ha, from engage on all fronts, and that's it. So now we'll go into battle round 2. DRUKHARI turn 2 coming up next. DRUKHARI turn 2 is over. These witches came out, they advanced just so I could spread out and kind of block some of the board off a little bit and get on the objective because I don't expect him to live a whole lot longer. He did shoot and he did whiff. He rolled a whole 1 for his D6 shots, so yay for him. Over here, I had a Tryptich Whip holding Witch Succubus. She was there, she ran, she advanced, she got to here, then she rolled a 10 for her charge. So she now sits happily inside this building, which maybe isn't a happy place, but she's there and she blendered the Repentia. So she gets 9 + 1 with combat drug, make 10 attacks, exploding 6s with her Warlord trait. So she ended up with 14 hits, and then it was 2s to wound. Was really quite impressive. Did not want to tangle with this because it has like 14 attacks, I was told, so that's fun. My 1 remaining Reaver shot across the board, was going to attack the Exorcist in the event that I failed to kill it, which after the Reaper failed to kill it I was a little worried, but you'll see there is a boom marker. It did not actually explode. However, Dark Lance for the win did the business there. Over here, the Master Succubus, she jumped out, she advanced a whole 1 inch, and then made a big, well, with a +1 on the charge for Red Grief, made her charge into the Rhino, took it down to, what, 2 wounds remaining, I think it was. And the Venom, being my hero, moved at 16, got into the middle of everything here, and then charged the Sisters and the Retributors, and took 2 wounds for my efforts, but tied everything up. I did spend the lightning fast reactions on the Venom, so I'm down to 1 command point again, and Blair's about to go up to a whole 1 command point, and that's where we're at. So on my turn, I scored Herd the Prey. As if I have no enemy units within table quarters at the end of my turn, I get 2 points for each quarter that's empty. So I got 4 for that, and I engaged on all of the fronts 1 more time. And that's it. Coming up with Sisters turn 2. The Sisters turn 2 is ended. We have lost, predictably so, the Reaper. Was actually shot with a bunch of pistols. Rude. Triumph of Catherine. I didn't appreciate it. I did not actually explode, which is good for me because I probably would have killed half my witches, but it did die, so I left it there. My poor Tryptich Whip Succubus Blenderbus, she's dead. She was removed. It was very sad. It was fun, but it was sad. Over here, Mr. Reaver surviving the missionary with 1 wound remaining, so that's something because I can still get some engage points with him hanging around and being a, you know, pain in the patukas. Over here, I lost a witch. I did use lightning fast again. Blair has started to swear when I mentioned lightning fast reactions, so thankfully I can't really do it again. These fools came down and shot the 1 witch, but with a cool combination of stratagems and things, they're able to do their scramblers action because they're in different phases and shoot. Very cool. I didn't really like it, but still, it was bueno for her in that sense. Over here, the other blunderbuss removed said Rhino. It did not explode. Oh, you need to actually roll for that one. We didn't check. Oh, it still did not explode. Okay. Then the Venom stayed in combat. There was a slap attack over there. The Sisters and the Venom exchanged slaps. Nobody was killed. And the Retributors did fall back out of combat. So I need to take care of that. That's a problem. And that's it. So at the end of that turn, and she's got a whole slew of miracle die up here that are just waiting to be used. I'm sure that's going to annoy me later. And she probably gets another 1 or 3 because she's Sisters and they do that. So here's where we sit. End of the turn. She's almost done with scramblers. I forgot to do mine last turn. 2 for engage, and I had 4 for her to pray, 3 for my engage. Yeah, so that's it. That's the end of battle round 2. We'll be back after DRUKHARI turn 3. The DRUKHARI turn 2 has ended. I disembarked from the Raider, so all the Blood Brides are here. They deployed scramblers in the middle. It seems like a waste, but I do need points, and they're holding an objective. The Raider came over here, pop shot into the Triumph, and did the wounding and everything, but then, of course, there was a miracle die, so nothing happened. Huh, what do you know? Over here, could have moved up and charged into this mess, but I'm actually doing better with screening by leaving them here and holding an objective, and it might bite me in the bum, but that's what I'm going to do. Back here, I had my Reaver, actually got kind of lucky, and he killed the missionary in combat. Glorious combat. This little blunderbuss over here came in and blendered the Retributors, and the Venom did not wound, but did take 2 wounds upon itself in combat with the sisters back there. So that's where we sit, and this is a horrific mess of Miracle Die that are sitting over here. So we'll be back with the sisters turn 3 in just a moment. The sisters turn 3 is over. Down here we had some shooting that happened. We had the Seraphim over here, shot into these witches, killed 4, and I lost 1 to morale, so I'm down to 3 left. The rest of them stayed. Over here, the Triumph, what did she shoot? Oh, she shot and killed my Reaver that was back there. It was rude, I did not appreciate it. The Seraphim dropped down inside the building back here, made the charge with their Miracle Die into my witches, my Blood Brides. I did use my last command point for lightning fast, and Blair said some funny words. Not really, but she groaned at me a lot. And I lost 4 to those attacks, and then my Blood Brides just did what the Blood Brides do and killed all the Seraphim right back. Over here, the Venom slapped. They slapped back, killed the Venom. My Succubus, Blunderbuss, whatever, heroically intervened into them and removed them, and so that was it. So Blair was left with the Triumph and the Seraphim. We both could probably still score deploy Scramblers, but we're gonna have to call it where she is conceding this game. There's just too many things left on my side of the table that I can still move around with, shoot, get into melee. It was a pretty impressive showing for this new Drukhari book, Cult of Strife, and we probably missed some rules here and there too. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Blair was saying that for her, either the Repentia, who came and basically killed all the Hellions and Reavers in one go, and or the Triumph of St. Catherine were her MVPs. I don't really know. I loved my Tryptich Whip blunderbuss that killed all the Repentia in return. I loved my big boss blunderbuss back there. She did a lot of work. She killed 3 or 4 units on her own. The witches were pretty amazing. It was just a lot of fun to play around with the new book. So there it is at the end of that game. It was actually not terribly far points wise. The Drukhari did pull ahead because of the secondaries, and don't know what it would be if we played it all out. We both probably would have gotten to play Scramblers, so that really wouldn't have been a difference. But here's where we sit. We didn't total it up yet because we forgot. But that's been a lot of fun. Thank you, Blair, for playing. Thank you, Game Mat EU, for the terrain and the battle mat that we used today. And hope you guys enjoyed this 1,000 points battle report, Drukhari versus Sisters.